Hi, my name is Shauna Lane, and here's my presentation for Uzo Aduba. She was a Nigerian-American actress who was born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. Her first acting job was a 2003 production known as Translations of Kosa, and her most prominent role was Suzanne Warren in Orange is the New Black. This was also her first television role. So the purpose of this chapter was to place an emphasis on Uzo's family and how they molded her into the person that she is today. She placed special attention to her mother and accredits her amazing work ethic to the behavior that her mom displayed. The audience would be young adult readers since the author maintains a tone that is rooted in admiration and realization, basically inspiring and guiding young readers to follow their dreams. The speaker is Uzo Aduba, who's an actress that has landed many important roles in the industry. She was raised in the USA and has a deep connection to her Nigerian roots. The situation is that the chapter is based upon Aduba in her idolization of her mother and portraying her mom as a strong, determined, yet extremely caring figure. Uzo develops her own sense of self. As for page 1, it provides background and sets the stage for what's to come. Uzo utilizes persistent diction to introduce her mother and describe how her mom's character traits have influenced her own. She also establishes vivid imagery to help readers mentally picture a situation, and this creates a sense of relatability between Uzo and the reader, which forms a consistent flow throughout the chapter. Page 2, eloquent diction is utilized. Miss Aduba immediately is placed on a pedestal as she is beautifully described by her daughter. Uzo juxtaposes the way that her mom carries herself as opposed to other mothers that she knew, and a sense of individuality is established through this. Descriptive language presents Aduba's mother as a royal, powerful figure. This also plays into the idolization of the maternal figure. The ethos of Uzo's mom is used and presented. So the elder Aduba's high level of education and her focus on giving her kids the same opportunity establishes her credibility. Imagery is also implemented in that the reader can vividly imagine themselves holding a conversation with the mother as a bridge between the author, her mother, and the audience is constructed. Page 2 is continued on. This is basically a continuation of the last in that it expands upon the speech and syntax patterns of Miss Aduba. This often caused conflict between the mother and daughter, but Uzo eventually gained an appreciation for this unique trait. Logos is implemented in page 3, and if-then statement is used to uplift Aduba's Nigerian roots and culture. It also undermines the American tendency to be selfish and cater toward westernized figures instead of minorities. There's also an emphasis placed on preserving the Igbo culture. The chapter carries a continuous theme based upon keeping the Nigerian culture alive. Uzo embodies this in the way that she carries herself. Vivid imagery is used to describe Nigerian fashion. A contrast in American and Nigerian clothing is formed to highlight the creativity present in Igbo clothing. Aduba forms an appreciation for the elegance that her culture boasts. The strategies used in page 4 would be a royal tone, which is explored once again. The Nigerian culture is portrayed as being extremely dignified and well-respected. Uzo notes that her culture provided her with a sense of identity. Belonging to a group that wasn't common in her town made Uzo feel special and provided her with a sense of belonging. There is an emphasis placed on maintaining Nigerian features in a world that values Eurocentric ones. Her mother taught her the importance of loving her unique features, although she may have been teased for it by others. The mother is displayed in a new light. This is the first time that Aduba's mother is presented alongside a feeling of vulnerability instead of trust and power and strength. As for page 5, the elder Aduba is seen as very persistent and seen as somebody who's achieved everything that she put her mind to. The determination was a generational trait that was passed on from each mother to their daughter, so it went from grandmother to mother to now Uzo. This statement gives the mother a magical presence, and a metaphor presents Mrs. Aduba as a strong, admirable, and beautiful person. For page 6, this was when Uzo visited Nigeria for the first time, so she's definitely in awe of everything going on. She was pretty young when it happened. So this was just her account of the situation. Nigeria is painted as this amazingly unreal place that overloads Uzo's senses as soon as she steps off the plane. She needed a journal to sufficiently record her thoughts, and it is difficult for the author to recognize that Nigeria is a real place. As for page 7 and 8, the grandmother's hands are personified. So Uzo had just met her grandmother, not for the first time, but like for the first time in a while. She went to go visit her in Nigeria, and she's kind of just like recalling what had happened. So in doing this, the grandmother's like sense of wisdom and life experience kind of stuck with Uzo for the rest of her life. There's also a moment of realization that is reached. A new door is open that the author had not been previously predicting, like she hadn't predicted it before, and she now has a new point of view when it comes to her mom. Mrs. Aduba is also painted in a new light. Her daughter now sees her as a normal person rather than a representation of an unattainable goal. A juxtaposition is used in page 9, and this kind of contrasts her royal views of her mother versus her true character. As Aduba grew and matured, she began to see her mom in a new light. Her mother's personality remained consistent throughout her life. There was always an unwavering sense of strength present within the woman. Uzo uses her pathos to explain her views on her mother. This emotional description gives insight into Uzo's increasingly respected views towards her mom. She is successful because of all that was instilled within her from a young age. And a metaphor that says we are of the same rib is used, and this is used to explain how Uzo accredits most of her aspects of her life to her mother. For page 10, it's basically kind of like a wrap-up of the chapter. So Uzo's journey in watching her mother has molded her into the successful woman that she is today. She operates on the goal of making her parents proud and will always revert back to this intention as time progresses. Thank you.